Why does a policy designed to help the poor keep making them poor? And there's probably no better example of this than the birthplace of modern minimum wage law itself. Despite being hailed as one of the great victories of the labor movement, it may come as a surprise to many that the earliest minimum wage laws weren't designed to help workers at all. They were designed to push certain workers out of the labor market entirely. In 1925, a Canadian minimum wage board admitted this outright. When set with the purpose of exclusion in mind, they wrote, "A minimum wage law can be effective in eliminating the competition of Chinese immigrant workers." Progressive-era economists in the United States said the same thing about lower-skilled workers and freed slaves. Men whose labor, they argued, wasn't worth the mandated wage would simply be priced out of a job. So what does that have to do with minimum wage today? Are minimum wage laws secretly racist? No, but the underlying economics never went away. Think of a minimum wage law like a price floor on a bridge toll. If a city decides every car must pay $10 to cross, regardless of what the car is worth to the bridge operator, some drivers will happily pay it. But the cheapest, oldest cars, the ones barely worth crossing for, get turned away entirely. The toll didn't make those cars more valuable. It just priced them out of the bridge. Labor works the same way. A worker's wage reflects their value to an employer. When the government forces that wage above what an entry-level worker actually produces, the employer doesn't pay the worker more for the same output. The employer simply stops hiring that worker. Economist after economist, from Milton Friedman to Thomas Sowell, pointed to the same pattern. Minimum wage hikes correlate with rising unemployment, specifically among the least experienced, least skilled workers, teenagers, new immigrants, people trying to get their very first job. Seattle became a modern test case. In 2014, the city began phasing in a $15 minimum wage, one of the most aggressive in the country. A team of University of Washington researchers tracked what happened next. Hours worked for low-wage employees fell so sharply that on average, workers lost more in reduced hours than they gained in higher pay. The policy that was supposed to put more money in low-income pockets ended up taking some of it back out. None of this means wages don't matter or that workers don't deserve more. It means the mechanism matters. You can't legislate someone's productivity into existence. A worker doesn't become more valuable because a law says so. The law only decides whether an employer is still allowed to hire them at all. The story of minimum wage law is a warning sign for us today. Good intentions and good economics are not the same thing, and a policy can sound compassionate while quietly closing the door on the very people it claims to protect. Perhaps that's why economist Thomas Sowell once warned that the first lesson of economics is scarcity, and the first lesson of politics is to disregard the first lesson of economics.